Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pumsaran Tongliemnak. I work at the Bureau of Policy and Strategy, Ministry of Education, Thailand, in Bangkok. And today, I will present about one of the landmark legislation in Thailand, which involves the education of unregistered or education of migrant children in Thailand. It's called Thailand's Cabinet Resolution on Education for Unregistered Persons in Thailand. So I would like to show you why this legislation or why this law is quite important, and it could bring some good things to the migrant children or the unregistered children in this country. So let me first briefly introduce you to the legislation. So on July 5th in 2005, Thailand's cabinet approved the proposal by the Ministry of Education that school in Thailand, every government school in Thailand must provide basic education to every child, regardless of their nationality or regardless of their legal status. So the target of this legislation, so mostly is aimed to the children of the migrant workers who migrate to the country during that time. And it has some positive impact on school enrollment of migrant children, displaced children, undocumented children, or children without Thai nationality. However, I also will talk to you about the gap between the aim of the policy and the intention and the reality or the outcome of it, maybe 10 years after the legislation in 2005. Now it's 2015, so it has like a past for 10 years. So we'll see whether it succeeds or not. So I will walk through with this. Okay, so first I will show you the situation of migrant children in Thailand. So we are one of the largest destinations of migrants or migrant children in the Southeast Asian region. And estimate that around 2 million or more migrant workers or migration people are from Burma, Cambodia or Laos, PDR, and some other people in other neighboring country as well. And around only 1 million, maybe out of 2 or more, have been registered officially, like have a legal status with the government. And we have around 1.4 million family members and unregistered workers that accompany them into the country. So in terms of the children of the migrant, we have around 400,000 children, migrant children, who age from 5 to 15 years old, according to the World Education Survey. So it's quite a lot. And of all the migrants or of all the children in Thailand, around 240,000 of them are out of school. So you can see some discrepancy between the number because we actually have no actual data of how many of the migrants in Thailand, because it's quite unofficial. We only have the official data of the migrant worker who register with the country, with the government. So data from some, we not have the official version of it. But you can say that we have a large number of migrant children in Thailand. So before 2005, Thailand has participated with several international and national initiatives on the right to education of children. Notably in 1989, we have adopted the Convention on the Rights of the Child, which states that the government must make primary education compulsory and available free to all. And for the secondary education, must also be available and accessible to every child. And in 1990, we host the Jomtien Declaration, and we proudly embrace it with the EFA movement ever since. And our new constitution at that time in 1991, our constitution states that every person shall have equal rights of receiving primary education. And also in 1997 constitution, we also extend that part. And in 1992 cabinet, the Ministry of Education say that the ministry have to provide education to some group of non-Thai students and displaced children after they have been registered. So the difference between 1992 and 2005 is that before that, the migrant children can enroll in Thai school, but they must be registered as the migrant children first. So this is in 1992. And there are also two important rules or legislation in 2004. The first one is that it's called the Education Provision for Disadvantaged Children by the Office of National Education Council. And another one is on the regulation on the proof of admission student into school. So let me go into more detail about the first one. This one is the Ministry of Education's provision for the disadvantaged children. Is aimed at providing disadvantaged children with education or vocational training, and it have like a 6 category of disadvantaged children, such as the children who live on streets, homeless children, or like a juvenile delinquents, or the migrant children or children with HIV or AIDS. And so this is like at the beginning of the movement that we want to assist with the migrant or displaced children in Thailand. And another law within the ministry that is very important that lead to the cabinet resolution is the ministry's regulation on proof and admission of students into education institute. So this is the operational guideline that related to management of education for children in Thailand, and it said that all Thai schools are duty bound to admit children of school age with or without evidence of civil registration to study. And even though they are not a Thai student, but if they have like something like birth certificate or letter of certification of birth or other proof that's issued by the government authority, it can be used to enroll in Thai school, even though they are not Thai. And even if they do not have this kind of document, the student can still be admitted using other alternative, maybe such as interview with school, or if they have some credible NGO to present them that they are students of this certain age. So, or they can use like a personal history of the family, something like that. So it's like it gives more flexibility to for the school to admit the students who do not have the document. So this is the rule within the ministry. But in 2005, so we have this kind of important the cabinet legislation, and during that time, like it's under the Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawat and Ministry of Education, Mr. Jaturon Chai Sang. And the idea or the essence of this legislation is that the right to education at all levels of of children in Thailand, like every children who live in Thailand have the right to education in Thai school or any school, regardless of their nationality or legal status, and it provides access to the public school system of all stateless and migrant children. And another important aspect is that students, even though they do not have the document, they are allowed to move between school within the country in order to find a suitable school. Like if they want to move from this school A to school B, or they find that the other school are better suitable with them, so they have the right to move to other school. They are not confined to certain area, and it's legal to do so as well. And they are entitled to receive a certificate of education upon the completion of their studies. And another important aspect of this legislation is that the Thai government must provide the per head funding to school based on the number of students, even though they are not Thai students. So they receive the same per head student, they receive the same benefit as the Thai student. Even so, let's look at the number. So usually, for the basic education for the primary school children, the government will give the money to the school and the parents around 3,000 to 4,000 baht per year. So this is called the per head budget, and every student are entitled to that. And it's not just about the Ministry of Education. Other government agencies in Thailand also have the role in providing assistance to the migrant children as well. Like a Ministry of Interior, they have the role to do the survey on the number of migrant children, and the Ministry of Labor, they do the registration, register the migrant worker or the migrant children. Ministry of Public Health, they issue birth certificate, or they provide basic medical healthcare service to children. And the Ministry of Social Development and Human Security, they have to promote for the better quality of life for migrant children and their families. And Ministry of Culture have a role in maybe providing the culture and the way of life of ethnic group to create some cooperation between students of different culture, something like that, or to provide more understanding between the different minority groups. And so let's look at what happened after the 2005 legislature. Okay. So you can see that maybe this graph is tell some story, but not the whole story. But you can see that after 2005, the ratio of out of school or dropout student has decreased quite significantly, like from around 1% to now around 0.08%. So you can see that after but mainly this comes from the policy of our per head budget, that we give budget to every the student and school. So the dropout rate of students have been declined significantly. But there are some problem with this graph because it only shows the dropout rate of students who are already in school, but it doesn't tell about the children who were not out of school in the first place and not in the system. So we cannot track that. But you can still say that it gives some positive outcome. And the percentage of out of school children in Thailand is comparatively quite low. So around like 4% of when compared to the world percentage in the world states as like 17%, in Thailand it's only 4%. And when compared to other countries, the percentage of out-of-school children in Thailand is still considered quite low as well, not too high. But then you have to bear in mind that sometimes this number does not include the number of migrant students or displaced students. So mainly it's basically about maybe the children already in the school system in Thailand. Okay, so let me see. So let me talk about the problem of this registration. So as of 2009, so if we talk strictly about the stateless or the migrant children in Thailand, we are still have a huge number of them, a significant portion of out of school children who are stateless or unregistered students. As of 2009, only 16% of the migrant students can enroll in Thai school. So there are still a lot of gap that has not been filled yet. And if you look in Bangkok, only 4% of migrant children from other country enroll in government school in Bangkok, even though a lot of them move with their parents maybe to work in the construction site or as a labor. And for the number, around 60,000 migrant students in government school, and the majority of them attend classes in educational center, maybe run by NGO or religious organization, but not in the government school. So in total, the number is not quite satisfactory yet for the group of migrant students. And so these are the obstacles of the implementation of this policy. So from the school perspective, perspective, the school in Thailand are partly autonomous. It means that they can have a decision to admit or not to admit, or they have a lot of saying in their own decision, or even so. In some schools, there are some like cultural prejudice, or they can refuse to admit the migrant student, and sometimes it's because of the reasonable reason, like because they do not have a teaching staff who understand the language or understand the culture, or they do not have the curriculum, the variation of curriculum that can include or embrace the migrant children. No physical infrastructure, and sometimes the student have to move around. So the principal or the school maybe not feel like they want to admit students who maybe next semester they have to move to other school. So for the student perspective, a lot of them fear that their illegal status may expose them to maybe harassment or detention or deportation. So maybe their parents feel that they don't have the courage to enroll their children in school because they fear of that. And another thing is the opportunity cost for children, like if they are teenager from age 11 to 14 or 15, a lot of them have to drop out to work or to help with their family. And most of them never return to school. And even though some of the costs are covered by the per head, but it's far from enough because there are other direct and indirect costs as well. And also, there's no clear mechanism for students to claim their rights from the school or local education authority. Like if they apply to school and they got rejected, maybe they do not want to proceed.
Pumsaran,
Yeah.
I have to stop you there. Oh, that's your last slide.
last.
Good.
Okay, so thank you for your attention.